Hello all, myself Mary Exi, Assistant Professor, Department of Applied Electronics and Instrumentation. I'm handling the Advanced Control Theory. So this course is the continuation of the control system theory that you have studied in the semester 5. So here we will discuss the state space approach in the module 1. So in the module 1, we are starting with the concept of state space. So in that, we'll see the state space representation of the system and the solution of the time invariant state equation. After that, after studying the time invariant state equation, we'll study the state transition matrix of a linear time varying system. After studying the continuous system, we will move on to the discrete system, state space representation and its solution. We have seen the different method of mathematical modeling like differential or difference equation and the transfer function. State space representation is an alternate method of modeling a system. It uses metrics and vectors to represent the system parameters and variable. So, in the control engineering, a state space representation is the mathematical model of the physical system as a set of input, output and state variable related by the first order differential equations or difference equation. As you know, there are different methods of mathematical modeling like differential equations and Laplace transform, and you are familiar with these two methods in the last semesters. But you may think that why we are going for this state space modeling approach. The answer is it is easier for the computer to perform the matrix algebra. So all the calculations in the state space modeling are carried out using the matrix algebra. MATLAB does all the computation as matrix max, and another important factor is it handles multiple input and output, and it also gives more information about the systems like the internal state variables. So initially it is used for the complicated and large system. Now we are using the state space approach in all the mathematical modeling, like along with the physical system we have using the biological system. We will study the definitions of each terms like state, state variable, etc. So we'll see the states. The state of a dynamic system is the smallest set of variables which are called the state variable, such that the knowledge of this variable at t is equal to 0 together with the knowledge of the input for t greater than or equal to t0 completely determines the behavior of the system for any time t to t0. So this is the definition of the state of a system. Okay, and the state is not limited to the physical system. It is applicable to the biological system, economical system, social system, etc. The state variables is one set of variables that are used to describe the mathematical state of the dynamical system. If at least n variables such as x1, x2, etc., xn are needed completely to describe the behavior of the dynamic system, then such n variables are the set of state variables. Next is a state vector, a vector whose elements are state variables. If n state variables are needed to describe the behavior of the given system, then these n state variables can be considered as n component of the vector x. Such vector is called the state vector. So also we can define a state vector is thus a vector that determines uniquely the system state x of t for the given time t greater than or equal to t0 once the state at t is equal to t0 is given and the output u of t for t greater than or equal to t0 is specified. State space is the n-dimensional space whose coordinate axis consists of the x1 axis, x2 axis, etc. xn axis, where x1, x2, etc. xn are the state variable. This is called the state space. The state space refers to the space whose axes are state variable. The state of the system can be represented as a vector within that space. We have seen the state of the system, the state variable, the state space, and the state vector. The next step is the state equation or the state space equation of the system. Okay, it consists of basically the three variables, that is the input variable, the output variable, and the state variable. The number of the state variables to completely define the dynamics of the system is equal to the number of the integrator involved in the system. Assume that a multiple input, multiple output system involves Fn integrator. Assume also there are R input, that is U1 of t, U2 of t, etc. UR of t, and M output Y1 of t, Y2 of t, etc. Yn of t. Any system can be described by the input vector, the system state variable, and the output vector. The input vector may be u1 to ur. So it can be written as u1 of t, u2 of t, etc. ur of t. That means r input vector. And it is given to the input is given to the system state variable. So the system state variable, we have n number of variable. So it is written as x1 of t, x2 of t, etc. xn of t. So the input given to the state variable, we are getting the output y, that is y1 of t, y2 of t, etc. ym of t. In the previous slide, we have seen the block diagram of the system, which consists of the input, the state variable, and the output. So this can be represented as x dot of t is equal to x1 dot of t equal to a function of the state variable, that is x1, x2, etc. xn, the input u1, u2, etc. ur with respect to t. Likewise, the x2 dot of t, the first derivative of this state variable, is equal to again the function of the state variable's input with respect to t. Likewise, we have the n state variable. So we are getting xn dot of t equal to a function of x1, x2, etc. xn, that is the state variable, the input, and with respect to t. So this slide represents the details of x1 of t, which consists of the state variable x1 to xn, then y, the output, which consists of y1 to ym. So we can represent this as the function of the state variable input with respect to t, that expanded in this form. Again g, a function of x, that is a state variable, the input, and with respect to t, and the input is represented by u of t, which is equal to u1 of t, u2 of t, and we have r number of input, that is ur of t. Finally, we can define the state model of the system. The state model of the system consisting of two equations, the state equation and the output equation. The state equation, which is represented by x dot of t equal to a function of the state variable, the input with respect to t, and the output equation y of t equal to a function of this, again a function of the state variable, the input with respect to t. If the function which involve the t, then it is called time varying system. So we can conclude that the state model, which consists of the two equations, this is the state equation and the output equation. The state equation we can written as x dot of t, x dot of t equals a of t x of t plus b of t u of t. That is, it consists of the state and the input. Again, the output equation y of t equal to the state c of t x of t plus b of t u of t, the state and the input. So in the previous slide, we have seen some coefficient a, b of t, c of t and d of t. So the a of t is called the state matrix, the b of t is called the input matrix, c of t is called the output matrix and d of t is called the direct transmission matrix. So we can see the block diagram here. This is the block diagram of the state model. As you know, the state model consists of two equations which describe the system state. That for the first equation is the state equation and the second one is the output equation. The first equation is x dot equal to ax plus bu. So you can see that this is the x dot. After integration you are getting x. So we can check that equation, that is x dot equal to, the x dot is getting from a of t x of t plus b of t u of t. That is a state equation, and the output equation is y of t equals, y of t is equal to c of t x of t plus u of t d of t. So this is the block diagram representation of the state model. If the vector function f and g do not involve the time explicitly, then it is called the time invariant system. So you can see the time invariant system as x dot of t is equal to a x of t plus b u of t. So in the time invariant system, the a of t part will not be there. Likewise, the b of t part will not be there. So such system we can call it as the time invariant system. So you have seen the state space representation, and in the state space representation you know what is the state model of the system, which consists of the two equation, the state equation and the output equation. The next is the transfer function from the state model. So if you have the state equation and the output equation, you have to derive the transfer function from that state model. So you know the state equation, that is x dot of t equal to a into x of t plus b into u of t. So for getting the transfer function, we are taking the Laplace transform of this equation. So after taking the Laplace transform, we are getting s into x of s is equal to a into x of s plus b into u of s. After rearranging the above equation in the previous slide, we will get si minus a into x of s is equal to b into u of s. So we can write it as x of s equals si minus a the whole inverse b into u of s, and you take the Laplace transform of the output equation, y of t is equal to b into c into x of t plus d into u of t. So after taking the Laplace transform, y of s equal to c into x of s plus d into u of s. So you can substitute the value of x of s here. So the y of s became c into, so this step you are substituting here, si minus a the whole inverse b into u of s plus d into u of s. Okay, after getting this, you have to take the u of s step, which is common in these two. You have to take this u of s outside. Then the transfer function you will get as g of s is equal to y of s by u of s. So after rearranging the above equation, you will get G of S equal to C into Si minus A the whole inverse B plus D. So from this equation you will get the transfer function from the state model.